If you struggle in the morning with your makeup and it takes too long and you don't know what will look good on your face, you're in the right place. I've been a makeup artist for 18 years and I am going to teach you some of my best tips and tricks for a full face of makeup that's quick and easy and it makes you feel beautiful. It sounds backwards, but I do the flawless skin last. I used to do the eyes first, but I would have eyeshadow fall out all over my face and make a huge mess. So instead of having to redo my entire skin, I just save it for last. Your brows don't match. I use these two almost every time because together they give me my perfect brows. But you can do just one if you want to save a little time. For a brow pencil to get the right color, match the color of hair at your temples. Okay, that doesn't actually work for me, but for most of y'all, the color of your temples will work beautifully to match. And if you're trying to decide between two colors, go with the one that is a little bit lighter. I love Anastasia brow products. I have used them on so many commercials. They are so good at making brows just look naturally perfect. I got so excited I just went in and didn't even tell you your first step. Brush your brows up. The color I'm using is ash brown, and my best tip for brows is to make sure you keep stepping back and looking straight at your face. You'll learn where you need to fill them in and how you like them shaped. Pretty soon you won't have to think about it. You will just go in and do it and it will be so much faster. Okay, so just with the pencil, my brow already looks really good. What I love about a pencil is it goes in and it fills in the background and it just creates a look of like, I've got more hair than I really have. Now I'm gonna go in with their new brow pen. I get sent so many products to try out and a lot of them aren't really anything special. But then I got this and I became obsessed. I can draw an entire eyebrow and it looks like it's real hair. I don't know about you, but I like to pick at my zits. I tell myself, no, don't do it. It's gonna scar. And then I pick at it. I've done that to my eyebrows so many times that there are places that the hair just doesn't grow back. So I can go in and draw them with my micro pen and I have perfect brows. Part of getting really fast at makeup is doing the same steps over and over again. When you do the same thing in the same order, it just becomes muscle memory and you get so much faster. Brush my brows up with brow freeze gel and then I just knock down the tips. I know it seems like a lot of steps, but trust mama, because once you have that muscle memory going, it is gonna go so fast. It takes me like 1 or 2 minutes. You can swap out colors and get unlimited looks. So I'm gonna do the same techniques, but with different colors. Okay, these creams are beautiful and a little bit goes a long way. But the little tube, if you push it too hard, a lot of product comes out and you just need like this tiniest little dots. For the simple shimmer and glow look, I am using RMS. They don't crease. And I think that's a little crazy because it's a clean beauty line and clean beauty usually doesn't last. I'm convinced that the secret behind its staying power is that it was created by a makeup artist. Makeup artists just know what products are good. Rosemary Swift is the OG for clean beauty. Do you know what she's known for? Creating that gorgeous Victoria's Secret angel glow on Giselle, Miranda Kerr, all them pretty girls. All these colors are pretty, but I think I'm gonna use Halo. Take just a tiny bit, press your fingers together so the product gets evenly on both of your fingers. Dab the color on your eyes and notice that my fingers are mirroring each other. I'm not holding them at some weird angle or like going one and then the other and changing the shape that's going down onto my eye. This cream dries down really quickly, so you need to come in with your brush right away. Put in that clean brush and draw a little rainbow on your brow bone. That's gonna blend out that edge. Draw a little rainbow. My next eyeshadow step I'm actually gonna do when I show you how to do flawless skin. But first we have to pick a color for the darker moodier look we're gonna do. You actually get all 3 of these colors as a gift when you buy $75 or more on this amazing sale they're having right now. I already know that I love this formula, but these are the matte ones and we gotta color swatch them. This color is Wood Nymph and I totally squeezed the tube too hard again. This is Sage Spirit and I am excited because I think this green is gonna be so pretty and bring out the green in my eyes. This one's called Granite Gray, but it really reads kind of blue on me. See, that is really pretty. I think I'm gonna use that one. Dab, 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 draw a little rainbow. This color is gonna look so good with my bronzer trick. If you have problems knowing what colors are going to make your eyes pop, Mama's gonna help you out. I am gonna put the colors that look good on your eye color in the description. This eyeliner hack is so simple that it shouldn't work, but it does. Start by looking straight ahead. You're gonna start drawing your line right above your pupil. In that outer corner, we wanna leave a little extra product, just like in a tiny, tiny little pile right there. We're gonna put our fingers right there on top of that extra product, angle them up towards our temples. So see how my fingers are like pointing towards my temples as I drag the product to give me a little cat eye. That's a lot of cat eye. Y'all, I dragged way too much product up. So I'm going in real quick with some micellar water on a brush and just cleaning that up, which is sharpening it and making it all pretty again. Who am I trying to be with all this liner? Hey, if you do this is all for you, that's great. This is not my daily look. So the reason we stopped our eyeliner above our eye was because it helps open up the eye if we have more eyeliner out here and less eyeliner in here. So I am going to go in there and just put the bare minimum, skinniest line, taper that in so it just fades in and it still leaves me big open eyes. I got all that eyeliner cleaned up and it ended up looking really pretty. So I'm gonna leave it like it is, but I want you to know that even when you make mistakes, you can go clean them up with a little micellar water, or you might learn a new technique in that practice and that mistake and end up with something absolutely beautiful. So keep trying, keep practicing. You've got this, girl. And this is what the eyeliner looks like on top of the Granite Gray. I really love how it turned out. The great thing about using micellar water under the eyes is that if you are using a powder eyeshadow, then any fallout is gonna get cleaned up, wiped away, and not mixed in with your under eye concealer. But also you can go in and clean up the eyeliner and the eyeshadow and just give it a much more sharp, defined, and make sure both sides match. Quick coat of mascara. I'm going in with my stabby comb because it really separates the lashes. You don't have to do this step, but I really think it makes my lashes look fuller, so I really like to do it. I'm using the Idol Lash. I don't know if it is the formula of the mascara or this little tiny spoolie, but I can actually see my lashes on camera, and usually because of my stubby little lashes, I can't see in them at all on camera. So I usually end up putting a tiny fake on. I'm about to answer the question y'all have all been asking. Foundation or concealer first? But before I solve the mystery that everyone has been asking, you're gonna need your phone for this amazing hack. Take a selfie of your face. Turn that photo or video black and white. Look, it shows you exactly where you need that extra coverage. And I like to start with foundation first. I like to use the foundation first because sometimes it will cover the blemishes and you don't even need the concealer. Dab, dab, dab that product so you are evenly coating the brush. And then I'm going to take the brush and put it in the places that need the most coverage first because it has the most product on the brush when you start, and then just dab it and spread it all over your face. As you dab it down, those bristles are creating little tiny dots all over your face, creating a very airbrushed, soft, flawless finish. And don't forget to drag that product down on your neck so it blends in. I keep reaching for this Anastasia Denona. All the foundations I've got, and this one just gives such a nice dewy finish, and it's long lasting, and wait till you see it when I add the bronzer. The bigger the brush, the quicker it's going to cover your face. But you need a smaller brush to get into those like detailed spots that the brush can't really reach. And now when I turn myself black and white, because the Anastasia Denona covers so much, I don't really see these spots anymore, so I don't need to put concealer there. When I use these concealer wands, I actually just use it to dot on the makeup, because if I was to wipe this on, there would just be way too much product. Dab, dab, dab it to where I need the coverage. I also like to add a little bit of concealer up here close to that eyeliner just to add a little bit more lift. The area of skin underneath your eye is actually 4 times thinner than the rest of the skin, and so I want you to make sure you are putting on as little product as possible to get the coverage you want. This is really pigmented, so I like to go in with it because it is going to give me a lot of coverage without giving me a lot of product buildup. And now my skin looks gorgeous and flawless. But look what happens when I add a little blush and bronzer. Look how pretty these are. And remember, we're doing 2 different looks by just swapping out the colors. For my simple shimmer and glow look, I'm going to use Pomegranate Fizz. We're going to apply that to the apple of our cheeks. That's the bone part that sticks out. And then we're going to drag it up our cheekbone. If you ever feel like you put on too much blush, here is a pro tip. Go in with your foundation brush and just dab a little more foundation on it, and it looks like your blush is coming through your skin, and it also fades that harsh edge and just lets the color come through. For my moodier look, I'm using Hanky Panky. I want you to see how this kind of looked like it was going to be a scary, bold color, but just a little bit pulled up gave me that really luminous blush. On the apple, drag it up. Armist Bronzer Tan Lines, it's just so pretty, but if you're lighter skinned than I am, you may want to reach for Beach Walk Betty. And I forgot to tell you, RMS is having this huge 30% off sale. It's the biggest sale I think that they have all year long. And it's right now. If you spend more than $75, you also get the free Eyelights and a brush to go with them. Grab a big brush, grab your bronzer, dab it all over your forehead. People get bronzer wrong. They think, oh, I'm gonna cut out my cheek and, you know, my jawline and I'm gonna be all chiseled with the bronzer. No, bronzer is supposed to look like you got kissed by the sun. It's called tan lines for a reason. So you wanna use it in places where the sun hits. The sun comes from above. So you're gonna hit your forehead. You might even hit a little bit on your nose, like, oh, honey, I've been in the sun. It's not the winter. I'm all beachy and awesome. Maybe even on your chin a little bit or your jawline. I actually really love putting a little bit on my jawline because I've got a square face, and if I put a little bit on my jawline, it just softens that harsh edge. Stop Don't put the bronzer down. We are going to finish your eyes with it. Get a small fluffy brush, point it up towards your brow bone, and I want you to follow your brow bone and just go back and forth, draw a little rainbow. Do you see how that adds a subtle depth and dimension to the eye? You can even drag it down all the way over to that inside of your nose. I told y'all that bronzer on the eyes was gonna look so good with this color. I am already loving this look, and I haven't even done lips yet. You don't need this next product, but get this next product because watch what it does. Dab it on top of your cheekbone, and you have this extra gorgeous glow. Do you see that? Like, no, you don't need this. But sometimes I will have no makeup on and I will just put this on and I will have that like ethereal glow happening as if I just woke up glowy and dewy and like I did my skincare. I love to dot it right here on my brow. And sometimes I'm gonna go a little wild and put it above my brow. Look how gorgeous that is. This is beautiful. This is extra beautiful. It's the Crystal Slipper Luminizer. It is the product that you don't need, but you're gonna use up first because you can just put it everywhere and you're just like, oh my gosh, look at that. I'm stunning. Maybe even put it on my collarbone. Okay, I don't usually do that, but I'm gonna keep doing it. Look, ooh. Ooh, ooh. These are the Go Nude pencils. I'm gonna use Sunrise Nude for this look and Sunset Nude for the moodier look. I think a lot of people skip the lip liner because they think it's like just an extra step, but it is a waxier formula, which means it's thicker and it's less likely to slip around on you. It's also really easy to control and it's not gonna creep into fine lines like lipstick might. You can go in and just follow your lip line, or you can go out a little further if you wanna get a little fuller look. When I first took the cap off, I was like, why is there an eyeliner thing with the lip liner? And it turns out it's actually to just go in and clean up little messes. It is so perfect. It's like a magic eraser. Here's the same lip look, but with Sunset Nude. You can leave it matte, and they have this glass slipper color that I told you need in a lip, but I don't have the lips, so I'm gonna use this one again. And if you want fuller lips, you can just dab it right there on your pout, and because it has the reflection in it and it's a little bit lighter than the lip color that I already used, it's gonna make my lips look fuller. When I was in high school, I actually had this kid ask me, why are your lips so big? And I was so insecure for years about my big lips. And then Angelina Jolie came out with her gorgeous, huge lips and everybody said I looked like her. And then I was like, wait a minute, big lips are pretty. And I finally embraced and started loving my lips. Glass slipper on Sunset. I think that might make it look a little bit less moody. And now I'm just going in with a little bit of powder in the areas that I tend to get oily. Usually if you're using a liquid foundation, you do not need to go in and powder. It dries down on its own. But if you're using a cream foundation, you definitely need to go in and put a little bit of powder on to set it in place. That is super pretty. I was hoping that it would give Victoria's Secret Angel. I'm not sure about that, but it's definitely giving a little bit of J-Lo. When we put these looks side by side, they look so different. But really all we did was change out the colors on our eyes, cheeks, and lips. All the products that I used are linked below. Make sure to get your RMS Clean Beauty products right now because 30% off is huge and the sale's about to end. Dun dun dun.